Dealbreakers, I just had a sneeze that refused to come out, so that's fun.
Oh, fun.
But we reconvened within, or rather right before...
Sorry, I just got back from getting Thin Mints.
Or rather right before the Dryad accent core plus R. Lundra led the party into the depths of the sacred tree in that Druid's Grove to meet with another host of sorts that they were staying with. What appeared to be the remains of the primordial golden dragon, Denar. It was a somewhat brief meeting, as Denar is only able to maintain his form for a short while. But it did come with some very interesting revelations and new charges for the party. Not the least of which being a request for Veron and Ishmael to assist Denar in continuing to have contact with the rest of his primordial siblings, something which they had inadvertently achieved by bringing Veron's piece of the primordial brass to the tree. Ishmael agreed to this charge, and with Aladinar's consent, is the word I was looking for, managed to make the sizable chunk of the dragon glass a little more portable so that he can follow through on this promise to reunite as many of the ancients of ancients as he possibly can. From there, they were shown a back way to an additional lay path that would lead them much, much closer and much more quickly back to Argonaas capital, where it was discovered that much more was ado back at their compound than was initially expecting, including an entire, what appeared to be performing troupe for some events that the party had not been made clear on or informed of, only for them to open the front door and be met with King Castir himself. So now, with a new, interesting, very large tabaxi man by the name of Cheddars, whom Ishmael is trying to now keep his mother away from as much as possible, and royal company much earlier than expected. Let's see how this plays out, gentlemen.
Indeed.
I did it off like a football recap. I love it.
Alrighty.
Did we say that yet? Are we dating ourselves? We're dating ourselves.
Speak for yourself.
Bro, I forgot there was a game. I didn't care.
There was a
this year. I was
football
like,
game at Kendrick's concert.
I know. That's crazy.
Wasn't much of a game from what I heard. Good lord.
I heard, yeah, like normally I'm like, yo, did you hear that such and such one? I heard none of that this year.
It was
all I heard about was the Kendrick stuff.
All I can tell you is that pray for Philadelphia's streetlights, because Philly sports fans are fucking monsters.
I did hear about that. Apparently they tore up like their own courtyard afterwards. And I'm just like, y'all won.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
The two worst places to be for a home game are Philadelphia and French Canada.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter which team is playing, if it's the Leafs or the Habs. You just don't want to be in Toronto.
Heard that.
Yes, I know Toronto's Ontario, but there's reasons.
Toronto is Ontario in the same way that New York City is New York. is like upstate, I should specify. But yes, I believe we specifically.
Fuck you, Dobby. Sorry, continue.
I believe we specifically left off as Krieg was opening the door to see,
Oh yeah.
flanked by a pair of royal knights on either side of him.
I think his exact words were, "Oh shit, we have gas."
As you open the door, is Krieg in his full armor?
Yeah, I would think so. I know we just got home, so like we just arrived home. I don't think he would have taken it off yet.
As you throw open the doors, let me describe for you first some of the individuals you see. As mentioned, you see a pair of royal guards in full plate, full polished steel plate with, rather than gold detailing on their armor, given the swaths of blue cloth underlay and dyed fabrics and leathers underneath parts of their armor. You see the gold metallic, not the gold, but the orange metallic finery underneath. You see John Ishmael. You have to do a double take when you see the woman that King Kestir is talking to, dressed in a very fine but very unfamiliar set of robes that are primarily white, with orange detailing. There is a wave motif and the like stitching and embroidery that denotes falling leaves. An updo like you haven't seen your mother wear in quite some time, and a entire bevy, a full face of makeup, eyeliner, just every feature that made Barry Beckett attractive is brought up to 10, essentially, with this. And she is wearing jewelry, at least a little bit of jewelry over top, that is you have never seen before. And finally, the king. You've seen, some of you players have seen the king in his formal courtly attire. This is not it. This is not it at all. To those who haven't seen him or met him before, you see this middle-aged human man standing modest 5'5", with a wiry, gaunt figure, lanky that would even be lanky for some of the most bookish people you've ever seen. In this tailored, muddy brown shirt with sleeves that cut off just at the wrist and a close, high, like turtleneck collar. He's not wearing a crown. He is not wearing a crown in that sense. The only jewelry above his neckline is a set of eight piercings, kind of silvery blue piercings that run the entire length of both his left and right ear, split 4 and 4. He's got sort of graying hair that clings close to the back of his temples, but if you were to see this man on the street and by his face alone, you would never guess that he'd be 53 years old. You could never guess. Over top. Sorry.
Continue. I thought you were done. Continue.
Yeah. Above this is a sort of a baggy, bluish a baggy, like almost sky blue robe that looks whose colors are beginning to fade, but is sort of cinched together at the belt line with a fairly ornate black leather belt with an electrum plate bearing the actual horse, the horse rampant that is the primary device on the Kestir house's sigil. As you speak first, Krieg, Kestir turns to you and I was expecting the Knoll gentleman, Johann, was it?
Real quick, Jake. So, just point of clarification, because I don't think Krieg has met this man in either timeline, but I presume he would at least recognize who this is.
History check. Flat.
Sure. Flat.
History check flat.
Oh. Maybe I have met this man. That's a 26.
Your personal missions never really brought you to Argonaas, but you knew that in your time the king had actually stayed a little longer and was beginning to look more and more ragged with every passing year. At least if the rumors were to be true. He is rather advanced in age, at least for where humans are concerned. But he led Argonaas on a very insular campaign, and there was not much. They mainly did their best to, under his rule, to stay out of international affairs. With the Dealbreakers' personal involvements, with him being a fleeting exception.
So as he says this to Krieg kind of clears his throat a little bit. Kind of like realizing who this is. That's a good point. Where is Johann? Kind of turning to the rest of them.
As you look back to the rest of the group, you hear some noise back towards the gates, where the simple wooden gates that are along the outer fence of the property. And you see a wagon with a familiar metal glint atop it, and a couple of a very tall, muscular gnoll, and a leather-clad Black Panther tabaxi following close behind.
The boys.
That was fast.
It's lay paths are ridiculous. You can travel 61 miles on an unearthly road in a day.
Krieg will just kind of turn back to King Kestir and just be like, apologies, we are just returning home ourselves.
I see. I had expected, based on my last discussion with Johann, I had expected you to be out for another week or more.
Lay paths.
I'm sorry?
Long story.
I see. Perhaps I can ask Master Electos to educate me on this phenomenon. But it's a pleasure, Ishmael, Reughar. I apologize for the seeming... I imagine this scene does not look pleasant. To have a guest of such esteem on your doorstep without much explanation.
Well, it is true that you seemingly have us on the back foot. I hope that this is with good intentions, as he just kind of awkwardly looks around at everyone.
Oh no! This is your home. Please do not let my admittedly brief intrusion unhome you. I do not wish to put any of you out. As he turns to Barry and speaks. Ms. Beckett, was it? I believe we will have to continue our conversation later. Of course, Your Majesty. It's been interesting speaking with you. She turns to look at you, Ishmael. And she kind of briefly presents herself. As King Kestir is going to step to the side and order his guards to do the same to allow you guys entry into your own home. You know, this thing that you should already have.
Ah, that sounds made up.
As Ishmael walks by, you hear this subtle bum bum ba-dum. Say, King.
Did someone actually take the time to install a magic mouth spell up there? So Reughar just kind of looks around.
I didn't do it.
I heard you like 'em blue.
Barry turns to look at you as you just walk by her without acknowledging her.
Oh no, I did. I gave her a nice smile and nod.
Okay,
I'm
fair.
just keeping lips sealed at the moment.
She turns to look at you, Krieg. Master Krieg, you and the rest of your group certainly look road weary. Oh, Cheddars! You'd best fix a few more enough for a few more. It would seem my intrepid son and his friends have returned. I have no.
So it would seem. By the way, you look absolutely gorgeous, my dear.
Oh, bless you, you charmer of a man.
Tusk, god damn it. Krieg.
I'm Krieg, brother.
Krieg will lean it a bit closer and be like,
So are you responsible for the furball outside?
Less. He's not a furball. He is an accomplished chef. Probably one of the.
He is covered in fur.
Yes, and he is also one of the more renowned chefs on this side of the verge.
We're not buying their goats.
She turns back and looks at you. I wasn't even to that part yet. God. Sometimes I swear, having raised that boy is a curse.
Horrible perception if I heard fucking Krieg being so rude to me.
Feel free.
he's a
Cheddars.
grumpy old man. I'll roll stealth, fuck it.
Do it.
Oh, I accidentally rolled to GM there. That's
Yeah.
a 20.
That is a 20. It is
I
a
don't
soft
think I
20.
can physically beat that. Oh, I can. I can't beat it, but I can match it.
You could try. No.
You didn't.
No, you did not.
Krieg's got old man ears. He's gotta speak up to say something under his breath, and then realizes that he's doing it for him, not for other people.
That is awfully rude of you, bullman.
I find it rude that you appropriate my culture with the name of your clan. But we can agree to disagree.
I did not name the clan. It has been named for thousands of years.
Yeah, so have I. Let's see what you can do, Catman.
And Krieg is gonna start walking.
I suppose.
Or- Oh,
Yes,
I was
Reughar.
just gonna say, as this procession was going on, Reughar just gonna kind of awkwardly look back towards Selfie. Selfie and just awkwardly beckon her in, just as a, oh, come on.
For context for the goons, I'm actually going to be putting an image here. In general. Barry's current attire. I figure at least one of you goons might be able to use that elsewhere. But
Ow!
Mm.
And don't you say?
she's gonna kind of step in. She is casting major side eye. Just, it's obscenely obvious how much side eye she is casting at, the king, and she seems very much out of place for herself, if nothing else. You didn't tell me you lived in a mansion.
Well, I was going to eventually tell you, but forgive me. As he's just going to look around and just look towards His Majesty and towards oh God, everyone else in the room, and he's just going to do my apologies. He's just going to point to Selfie and say, Selphira, my sister.
There is a pleasant smile and nod from King Castir as either of his guards on either side remain unmoving.
And and of course, and also may I present His Royal Majesty Ilbert Castir. As he points to Selfie again.
A second of the name. The pleasure is mine. Do I see a family resemblance?
Yes, I did explain that she's my sister. So he just kind of sheepishly looks down.
It's only barely there.
He just awkwardly scratches the back of his head.
So, Ms. Selfie, you said it was. Miss Selfie must take after your mother, then. Selfie's going to kind of elbow you and try to whisper in your ear. Oh, please. Oh, please. Selfie just rolled a nat 20 on stealth. I need to see if Eelberth matches. Oh, please. Please tell me the rogue just rolled a nat 20 on stealth and beats. No. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. No, she absolutely does. The king rolled a 13. We love that. We love that. Good job. Good job, Selfie. I approve. She's gonna whisper to you. What? Why is he introducing himself to me? And why did you introduce me to him? I could have slipped by.
I thought that was just gonna be a hard stop. Just what?
I could have snuck in a window on the second floor.
He's going to attempt to sneak this as well. May he attempt to stealth as he whispers a response to her.
Yeah, sure. That's unfortunate. That's
9.
unfortunate, but it does play into your flaw.
Well, you see, I thought I was being polite, and especially when something very important, and he just kind of shrivels up a little bit at that.
Go see. You should probably think about chaperoning. You should probably help out Cheddars in the kitchen if you can.
Sure.
I'm going to make myself at home right up here for a bit. Come get me when you're done, okay? And hopefully when the king has left.
I was going to shut up. Okay. He just
Go. She's gonna shove you towards Cheddars.
okay. Yes, I'm here to help. As he just utterly looks towards you, Cheddars.
He's just gonna look you up and down. Help with what?
Well, whatever preparations you still need to complete. Just awkwardly looking side-eyed Selfie and then back to him.
Just gonna stare at you. You do not look like you know how to cook.
I have to double check something. It's never too late to learn, I suppose?
With this event it is. This is far from the event a amateur should learn to cook at.
He just kind of... He's just looking towards her, just like, I'm trying.
He'll just walk over and give you a little sympathetic pat on the shoulder. I'm sure you can find use for your talent somewhere.
Just feeling defeated, he's just going to just make his way past it, just kind of look over and nod, Mrs. Beckett, as he's going to continue on.
Enjoy your evening, Reughar. Veron, KV, and Cheddars are the last three waiting here. As
Veron would kind of tail it and come thudding at the end. He'll briefly present himself in front of the king, give like a very polite bow,
Veron,
but says nothing, and he's going to walk away.
I would like some words with you later. There was a report offered to me by a couple individuals that I believe might interest you.
He seems distracted.
He's going to turn. He's going to turn to KV as KV remains. As well as Cheddars.
It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance, sir. I'm known as KV. I'm with the Colin.
Ah, a collegiate mage. We have at least retained some manner of amicable relations. I trust the business earlier in the spring with the use of some of the local collegiate auxiliary forces was not too much of a strain, considering the state of affairs along the verge. I hear tensions still run high.
As far as I've heard, we are still keeping vigilant and it's maintaining for the time being, as far as I know.
If I catch you again before I depart, I'll ask then. Perhaps you've heard of. There's an interesting individual I've heard a incredible rumor about. Someone who also did some digging into one of the foes that the Dealbreakers thwarted to the south of my lands. One Enron Talai. I've looked into some stories about him. Prestable Bend is not likely a matter for pleasant conversation, but learning more about their tactics would certainly assist in any defense that the towns to the south could potentially levy. If you are aware.
Would KV have any knowledge of Enron Talai at all?
Given when you were awakened, you would probably have known that Talai was a major commander, but he was currently, when you were awakened, considered MIA to collegiate knowledge. And had been for a few years.
Oh, I must be out of the loop on that one. Last I heard, he was missing.
Well, it seems I might have more to share with you than you with me.
I look forward to our conversation.
Indeed.
If you'll excuse me.
Sure.
Just gonna kind of follow the rest. Well, he'll give a very polite nod to Barry before walking in to follow the rest of these particular.
As the last of the player characters pass by, at least with the exception of Cheddars, Kestir is going to sort of pivot around one of his guardsmen and approach you, Cheddars.
Mm-hmm.
Master Cheddars, I would ask that you keep my appearance here as subtle as possible.
I know when I have not seen things I have not seen.
That makes one tabaxi that I can trust. He takes a moment and just worriedly slicks back his hair before shuddering.
Troubles with my kind?
And with an individual, not with your kind as a whole. With an individual. If one dares even call Moonsong that.
Name I am afraid I am not familiar with. Or wait, sorry. I do know this one. He's not bad. Does very good work with the carriages.
I am sure he does. Unfortunately, I don't have need of his handiwork. And yet he still shows up. But that gets into my a little more personal than I had intended originally. Please continue on about your evening.
Of course, but for the time being, can I get you some tea, a beverage while you wait?
No. I am content to wait out here. Perhaps, if you wouldn't mind checking back within an hour, I might. Otherwise, I might send one of these two fine gentlemen to retrieve it.
Of course. Oh, well, and for you, Barry, is there anything I can get for you?
Oh no, please. I wouldn't dare eat or drink anything in this. I'm fairly certain this outfit is more expensive than my entire wardrobe. This is more fanciful than any of the Summer's End dresses I ever wore as a girl. I don't trust myself with food.
Oh. Oh. Oh, my dear. There is no need to worry about such things. Food cleans out. And expensive or not, it is gorgeous on you. But really, it could not be properly brought out on another.
Krieg. Well, I'll have. Okay, so I've got. Go ahead for the as we sort of free up here. Where are each of you? Fine folks heading as you arrive home? I think I know where a couple people are heading, but I want to make these determinations specific and live to the group.
Krieg is just kind of grabbing a place to sit for a few moments to just recount his supplies, quickly give his gear and such a once over before, deciding to before putting stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
He's just taking stock of his gear right now.
Is this in the actual dining hall?
Yeah. Because it's just gonna be a real quick.
Okay, I'll get to you in a second then.
Sounds good.
Ishmael, I think I know where you're going.
How hard is Veron dragging Ishmael down the stairs to the war room?
Veron wandered off by himself, intentionally grabbing anybody.
If not being grabbed by Veron immediately for their conversation, the presence of Castir kind of hangs heavier in his mind than that prior engagement, so he's kind of just gonna hover in that vicinity where he can kind of keep an eye on things.
For KV, actually, you know what? I think he'll be curious to check on the second. He might hang outside for a few.
Okay.
So I'll have him over here.
All right. Reughar? Since your assistance in the kitchen was rejected.
I suppose the first order of business for him would be to take his gear and offload it at his room and check in on Ty, because I know it's been quite the hot minute.
Yeah. Also, basically, once she gets her boots off, barefoot on these wood floors, Selfie is following you.
So after he would do that, then he would try and find a room for Selfie to claim for the foreseeable future.
So if you're headed up to your chambers, that's on the second story. Go ahead and move your, if you would be ever so kind to move your token to the stairs there, you see.
Let's see. I know it's been a hot minute since I looked at this map. Over there, yes.
Yes. Cheddars, how about you?
Well, first, where's the kitchen immediately?
The kitchen is as you have already been introduced to it. You know that the kitchen is the first door on the right, basically at the end of the hall. Right around
yeah,
here-ish.
Okay. I thought so, but wasn't entirely sure the layout, so I wanted to. Yeah, Cheddars would head over there for the moment. Make sure everything that he has set up is set up, and take care of other things that's needed.
Actually, if you'll give me a moment,
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure the sizing of this place is correct. Okay, does it line up? Am I a genius? Oh no.
He's not a genius. Watch out.
That actually does work though. Good.
He is a genius. He's figured it out.
Give the map a moment to render properly. There we go. You go ahead and
yes.
drag
90s PC map.
Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead and move Cheddars' token over there. You'll have to excuse the lack of braziers here.
Still not rendered on my.
Yeah.
It's going to take a second. It's kind of a hefty file, I'll admit. The blur do indeed go burr.
There you go. If you refresh, it'll be done pretty much instantly.
Yeah.
It's loading. There we go.
God, Jump Gate is so nice.
Yeah.
This fucking map.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty neat.
It's a little
So,
weird for me trying to get used to it.
Krieg.
Hey.
Actually, I need to resolve Kestier's action. As he is going to quickly nod to Barry and look back towards you, Ishmael, as you hover. Ms. Beckett, I'll be waiting outside. If Antheon decides to make his way out here, out into the foyer, or potentially head outside, I trust you'll inform me. Of course, Your Majesty. And if you happen to see a Knoll gentleman approaching, please feel free to inform me. I need to give him a very stern talking to. Well, myself and Elisar both. As Kestier is going to actually join you outside, KB.
He would see. Castier would see that KV is just observing the other card coming in. His
let me get some new music here as you all are beginning to disperse and return to your places at home.
Did we lose Helix? Am I
No.
imagining that?
No?
I've been here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like cut out for me. Maybe it was something on my end.
Anyone else hear me cut out or not?
No.
And probably something on Tart's end then.
Okay.
Awesome.
Krieg, as you go to enter the dining hall, it is pitch black. As you hear like a couple hushed, very quickly hushed, like giggles and whispers. Where are you? Ah, good. It is lined up.
I guess I'll put myself here at the door then.
As you do, you see candles in the candelabra above the far end begin to alight. The tables, the candles all spark to life. You hear music begin.
Krieg kind of stops for a moment, just kind of starts perusing the room. Not much expression on his face, just like, oh, that's weird. That doesn't normally happen.
As I need
Does
to
anything
hop
else
over
happen?
to something else here.
Oh no. She's back! We're being invaded!
I'm back! Oh god, skip
Oh,
tour,
good
please.
lord.
Fuck. I'm dying.
Did I not fix that? Ah!
She's back! Watch out!
Hold on,
Gamers, my friends, give me just a moment here as my scenes have gotten entirely scrambled.
Oh fuck, I'm so sorry.
I knew there was something I forgot this morning.
Good job.
Friends,
Oh.
as we welcome yet another guest to the table in one MandalouPanda, now
Oh,
is a
fuck,
very
I'm
appropriate time for a bio break.
Oh, fucking perfect. I'm actively dying. I can't see shit, Captain.
What is this?
Amanda,
With this campaign,
is
that's
this
good.
what it is?
You guys didn't think you'd get one without the other, did you?
I'm Wingus. That's Dingus.
Hi, I'm Dingus, that's Wingus.
Oh, there we go. Fucking. I'm trying to hide the name. The fucking. Everybody is in the middle of the room. I'm trying to change you all to nameplates. You see.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe our party is now expanded by 50%.
Fuck. How do we change the nameplates? I'm dying. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe it's this.
Settings,
There it is.
Audio.
There we go. Avatar. Names only. Oh, there we go. Now I'm good.
So we have an additional player in addition to another cart of NPCs on the way. You did this to yourself.
Oh, I know precisely what I did to myself. And I'm here for it all.
Jake,
Ha ha ha.
Uh-huh.
Jake, may I offer you a treat in these trying times?
Yes? What treat?
A Chorito.
Oh, Pretos.
But if we are on a.
Polities.
All right, friends, we will be back here in just a moment. Ishmael, Veron. Even Reughar a little bit. You hear, as we return to the game, Ishmael and Veron, and Cheddars too, are all going to hear it best, with Reughar and KV maybe having a bit of difficulty hearing it, but there is the sound of low drums. And Veron, at least somewhat familiar music to you.
Would I hear it even though the token is indicating that I went down?
Given that the doors were open, this music will carry.
Okay, cool. He'll kind of like pause for what he's doing. It's like, oh, and then proceed.
That's fucking weird.
Krieg, as the candles are lit and the music has begun, I'm going to leave it to Manda to describe what you will see.
Hi, yes, it's me. Unless anybody else wants to join the room, it's up to them.
It's you.
Hold on, I have to open up a thing. Which will give you boys time to decide whether or not you come to the room to see what that is.
I attack the first person I see in the room.
Not advisable. Not advisable.
It'd be the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yes.
Opens door. Hey, Krieg gets punched. Boom.
Krieg, what the fuck? There it is. Okay. I don't have my glasses. That's fine. I don't need them.
But yeah, if there's music happening in his home and he's not there doing it, Ishmael is like, ooh.
Ooh.
As Krieg sees this woman, he just goes,
Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry. We do not see this woman.
We do not see this woman just yet. You do, however, see a group of five very mostly fresh-faced individuals in the low candlelight. You're not able to easily make out the features of everyone except for this one right. I need to make sure I'm picking on the token layer. This woman right here, done up in some of the most fanciful near-Reichenian fashion that you have ever seen, with a wig that probably you're fairly certain it's a wig or an updo of curls, powder white, that sit probably 6 or 7 inches above her hairline.
She's French Marge Simpson.
Yeah, basically Marge Simpson with that. You see most of the rest of them are wearing well-tailored clothing, with the exception of her, who's wearing a fairly fanciful gown. And their attention seems to be wrapped upon the closed doorway. You see a couple wine glasses and bottles empty. Some of them tipped on their side, others still in use. A couple hard spirits on either table.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
I really, truly feel like Krieg, expecting this room to be empty, expecting to have a calm moment to himself, would see all of these people and be like, Nope. I'd immediately walk back out. Not my place. Gaia. As he would turn around and see Ishmael, he'd go, "That's all you, bud." He's gonna walk. He's gonna continue to walk down.
Well, I
think
guess.
Veron needs to see me.
Oh,
Damn.
well, if Ishmael.
Oh, well, fuck me then.
I'll play. I'll
Damn.
play. I'll play. I'm teasing.
Damn.
If Ishmael
Have a
didn't
seat.
stay, I
Well,
would've.
well, it's nice,
The party
it's nice
has
to be
been
here,
split
guys.
in 7 different directions.
Oh, it's nice to see you here,
Yep.
guys. I'll see you later.
I love when the party of 5 splits in 7 different directions.
Yeah.
Truth. I forget how to access it, but Krieg would probably go upstairs
Yeah.
since that room's unavailable.
Sound of heavy armor creaking floorboards upstairs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll come in here and steal a seat and see what's going on.
Okie dokie.
Amanda, I open the floor to you.
All right. Well, since I guess nobody else wants to be here, Ishmael, since you are the only one
Nah, I'll be here to support my bestie, man.
here. Welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. Krieg sits down. What the fuck is this?
Ishmael pulls out the flask, hands it to Krieg. Here we go.
Krieg will definitely take a swig.
Well, since you guys are here, the music that has been playing will suddenly cut out. There's a hush that will fall over the room as the lights they were dark, but now it feels like almost a magical darkness that kind of overtakes everything. The candles kind of fade away, conversations will die away. And in that pause of silence, there is going to be this very shrill but melodic flute that plays out from seemingly everywhere. It's loud enough that everybody is going to hear it from beyond the room itself. Sorry, I wrote this really fluffily, so I'm trying to fucking well, its wavering cry invokes a sense of loneliness. Your guys' eyes are pulled towards the stage at the first sign of movement, as a curtain that had been set up as a barrier now smoothly glides away. The room is now filled with a blue light that shines down directly from stage right. Another shrill and warbling cry carries at the end of it. And from it comes a soft click, click, click of metallic footsteps. Emerging into the light, accompanied by the oohs and ahs of wonder, is a woman. She glides She glides effortlessly from a seemingly endless blackness into the room and stops. She's dressed in a long, ornate robe. It drags out. The train is impossibly long, it feels. Her hair is pale. It's woven into the most intricate upstyle I think you guys have ever seen. Metal embellishments of flowers, butterflies, braids. But in the softness of her walk, you wouldn't need to strain to hear them sort of clink and jingle like bells. Now that this woman is fully bathed in the cold-colored light, she and her fine clothes are completely washed out, hiding any sort of discernible pattern, forcing them to appear as a shocking blue-white, as if she were standing under a full winter's moon. As you see her, she is much clearer now. She appears to be a tiefling, with a single horn that protrudes from her center brow. It catches the light as polished metal would. Her eyes are closed, but even in the stage lighting, you can see that her lashes are very long, pale, with a hint of what could be glitter. Her features are very soft and smooth, like she was carved from stone. She's beautiful, ghostly elegant. Her hands come up and are now positioned near her face. And she barely moves, and they barely move as she seems to sort of float to the center of the stage. Every movement and every step is practiced, poised. Even without having said a word, her very presence demands your attention. It's almost as if by spell, but she is completely taken in control of the entire room. It's here that the petals begin to fall, spinning, whirling about her form. As the drum from earlier starts to thump like thunder, the chords of well-tuned strings carry throughout the room like a heartbeat. She begins to dance, and her arms out as she embraces the fullness of the stage. Her long sleeves whirl like wings. The dress, despite its length and probably weight, doesn't hinder her steps in the slightest. The lights brighten and warm to reveal that she is pale, alabaster white. Her eyes are gold. The robes are layers of pink and white, embroidered with stylized depictions of cherry blossoms. Her eyes will meet with everyone in the room for just a fleeting moment, especially you guys, Ishmael and Krieg. And the moment that she holds with just you two feels like an eternity that she's created for just the two of you. She is a secret. She is a lover. She is unattainable and free. A smile will creep across her lips as she breaks her eye contact with you and moves to the other end of the stage. A sleek hand will reach out to those that are closest to the stage. Twinkling waves of blossoms and a subtle sweetness sort of fills the room. It's a perfume. It's very floral, but gentle. And when she reaches, she dashes away. She's like a nymph in the fields. The petals will follow her every step, as if coordinated of their own free will. She spins, she twirls, she bows, she crests. And at the crescendo of drums and strings, she raises her arms, and she starts to sing. Her voice, now that you hear it, is warm, it's sultry, it's beautiful as she is. It's in a language that Veron would know, actually. Veron would probably recognize it, as it's a song of spring. One sings it towards like the ending of spring and the beginning of autumn. And on the final notes, her hands will flick outward, and the pink petals will literally sort of pop, burst, and they'll flash, and they turn into butterflies, flying over the crowd, trailing little glittering stars over the darkness of the ceiling, much to the delight of the crowd. And with a final crash of drums and flutes, the lights go out once more. And it's in that moment, it feels like the spell is broken. There's this kind of loss at the performance is over. But when the lights raise once more, she bows as the guests will cheer.
Clap, clap, clap.
Clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
Krieg, who's clapping, just kind of leans over to Ishmael. Where the fuck are all these people coming from?
After the performance, while you're talking to each other, you look down at the table and realize during that time someone dropped something off in front of you, in front of everyone. They're little the best I can describe them as squares of various colors. And if you take and with little sticks with each one, you can, poke into it to not get any of the what looks like flour on it on your hands, and take a bite if you want. As this chewy mochi of strawberry, lemon, and a dark one that would be chocolate flavored was set in front of you during the performance, though you don't remember hearing anyone move around in there. Just a small appetizer. And not any cat hair. Fuck you, Krieg.
As the lights would return and some people would discover hors d'oeuvres sat in front of each of you, as the light returns properly, Ishmael, seated across from you, half turned, still like in a daze, looking at the stage, is a familiar face. A certain younger nobleman who you haven't seen since early spring. Who you escorted to Argonaas capital some time ago.
I see.
Cassius Aemilius. He'll turn to look at his plate and then look at you. And squint for a moment. Ishmael?
You are in my home, so yes. Hello, Arceus. It's been some time.
Had I known that you had such entertainment, I would have come to call much sooner. Isn't that right, Aunt? Isn't that right, Theo? I told you not to call me Theo in public company, Cass. As a young man will kind of finish a bite of food, a bite of this mochi, and sort of turn to look at you. You see Eilberth's visage in this young man's face. But take off 20 years. And add in a couple of places, you see patches of skin, specifically like around his temples, the base, like his collarbone, or on like in the collarbone and the flesh, like right around it. You see patches of sort of almost like gray, like really dry skin. As he seems to regard you with a quiet nod. Would seem that, I have you at a disadvantage thanks to Cass knowing you ahead of time. He's gonna reach out he's gonna kind of stand up and reach out a hand to you. For being such a gracious host, I am in yours and the rest of your party's debt. Anthea is the name.
I'll meet his handshake.
Nice to meet you, Anthea. You can call me Ishmael if you like.
Mhm.
I was wondering when I'd get to meet you in particular.
Yes, there are some matters I had wanted to discuss with you in a little more private setting once the rest of my party has sent themselves to bed. He's going to raise a half-full wine glass. Nev, Maggie, Raph, Cass, to our wonderful hosts this evening. I would like to raise a toast. And hopefully, with their permission and their good graces once again.
He about said forgiveness, didn't he? What do we have to forgive you for?
What did you do?
What did you do?
That's for him to know. He's also... You don't need an insight check to know that this is not his first glass of wine. They have likely been here by the sets of bottles arrayed around different tables. They've probably been here for a few hours at least. But I raise a toast to you regardless. Maybe with your good graces, and your hospitality in the near future, we shall be here once again with a much larger crowd for a much more somber affair. As he kind of starts chuckling. You see the individual he called Raph kick his heels back up and tip the chair basically right back onto the railing that separates the bar from the regular dining tables. You can say that again. Still don't know why they're having you shack up with that Rhodamian heiress. Well, actually, we can't really call her an heiress now, can we? Her pappy's whole fief got confiscated by the crown. They're just they're just marrying her off to you to please the crown and try to make an alliance. Raph, I am not here for politics. Please. I am here to hopefully bask in the presence of this wonderful performer. Hopefully she will put on another ensorceling performance soon. But I believe, if you'll permit, this was a bit more of a... It doesn't feel right to ask this, but this was something of a private affair, gentlemen. He kind of pauses and looks at you both. He looks at both of you, Krieg and Ishmael, kind of unsure if he's going to fully ask. You are welcome. You're certainly welcome to join us, but you were not initially expected.
I wouldn't worry about that, the woman says from stage as she snaps open a fan and it's kind of covering her nose and mouth.
Our wonderful performer. Anthion's going to nod and sit back down.
Don't worry. Cheddars has already prepared more for everyone. I believe you are the Dealbreakers, yes? Of course. And she's gonna gesture at you, Ishmael. You must be Ishmael. Barry was telling me all about you. Oh, you did grow into your ears. What a handsome gentleman you are. She showed me all of your baby portraits.
I'm sure.
And you must be Master Krieg. And she looks you at Krieg up and down, and the fan kind of slowly closes. I do love a man in armor.
Krieg will just kind of nod a little bit.
The performance was wonderful. Thank you for putting it on.
Oh, thank you for allowing us to perform on such short notice. Normally, she kind of gestures around the room. I would have had more time, but hopefully this was well enough. We just sort of bumped into each other here. She kind of gestures at the people in the room. As we came here initially to drop off some mail, as it were. A couple of messages from Dame Greyfist.
Not a name we've heard in a while. Okay.
I was about to say, I don't think that's a name I've heard at all, actually.
Shit, was her last name? I thought it was Nukara.
It was Greyfist. Yes.
Okay, good. Not me looking at my notes in a panic, like, fuck!
No, I'm sure y'all are fine.
Krieg joined the party mid-game.
Yeah, that's
I
not a
got
name
you.
Krieg would have heard. That was before Krieg's time.
Yes, Miss Nuka. Yes, we handled some things. We saw some of your handiwork, actually. Missed a few spots.
Yes, we had to clean up a bit of a mess. You left. And
Nice
Cheddars
work
will
on-
walk over to help Freedom off the stage.
She'll
Should
allow
she
him to.
choose.
Yeah, she'll allow him to. It's very much the take her by the fingers as she kind of makes her way down.
Mhm.
Nice walk with the helm, Horus.
Yes, I suppose we did leave a bit of a mess there, didn't we?
Well, it's less the mess that I would be concerned about, and... Oh gods, what were they? She looks at Cheddar. More the living statues in the basement.
Ah, yes. Yes, the extras we had to deal with.
Well, we didn't have to deal with them, gods, no. She gently fans her. Oh, gods, no, we didn't deal with them. We ran into some other people instead, which was much preferable. I do feel bad for the poor bastards who did go downstairs. Jake, remind me, do we know who that was again?
You do know that they were cultists of a kind. That was part of the mission profile, essentially, as presented to you.
Right. They gave off a cultish kind of vibe, you know, black robes, deep hoods. Very scary, wavy daggers, she says, wiggling her fingers.
Noting that.
I don't know if Nuka handled what was left behind, but you know, adventures and all. My goodness, you two seem so very road weary. Are you well? Cheddars, get these men a bit of spirit. And she gestures with her hand at Cheddars like she's shooing him away.
Cheddars will just put a hand on his chest. As you command, my lady. And just head back
I
to the
was
kitchen.
actually about to depart to my chambers.
Oh,
Please do not go out of your way for me.
but that is part of my work, you see. Comfort is the forefront of my mind. She has this very big, very demure smile on her face.
I'm about to pull a reference that I hope some people get.
Uh-huh. Do it. I dare you.
Krieg, in one swift motion, grabs the back of Ishmael's chair and pushes him forward in front of him to you.
Have you met Ishmael?
And he fucking books out of there.
With Ishmael now in her face, she's smiling. She smiles at she has the same, and this one is very much like a cat who caught the canary. Oh, I didn't expect a Minotaur to be so shy. What about you, Ishmael? You seem like a man with the aura of audacity.
Suppose that's one way to put it. I'm familiar with your work. We've entertained a number of members of your occupation, while we would have ambassadors from the east occasionally with the merchant princedoms down in Sorday.
I see. Well, I haven't really been to Atenir in God's years. I'm the only Oiron outside of it. The best. She says very notably. It's very clearly that she's bragging, but she's
I would
also.
expect nothing less after that sort of performance.
Well, thank you. You say that you helped yourself. You entertained yourself. Are you an entertainer?
A bit more subtle than all of that just now. But yes, I've learned a thing or two.
Oh. Perhaps you will play for me sometime. And she takes a step towards you. She reaches out and she'll pluck a hair off of your coat. She smells very nice, by the way.
I would love to. However,
And I turn to the kind prince to my left.
this is a more private affair, and I do have some affairs about the house that I must tend to. So I will leave you to your paying clients for now. But absolutely do seek me out later, and make sure that I introduce you to Veron. I think it would do him good to meet someone else from Atenir that's not from a family that he has a bad history with.
Oh. A fellow from the homeland. I would be happy to say hello. It's been quite some time. But yes, I'll be happy to seek you all out.
Just
Well,
a
no,
point of order. As soon as Krieg gets upstairs and into his room, there's a heavy sigh. Fucking women.
Roll stealth for that, please. Because there's a kitchen door open.
No, this is when I get upstairs. This is when I get into my room.
You underestimate the power of a tabaxi. Of a curious tabaxi.
I am gonna roll this flat because Krieg would be taking off his armor proper
Mm-hmm.
at this stage.
Hey!
Can I just stick with my passive? of
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
14?
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't even like a disrespectful thing. This is Krieg being fucking overstimulated at this moment. Fucking women.
Hold on a second, I'm receiving a DM. Hold on. Now I have to open my spell book. Hey, Krieg.
Hey, what's up?
You hear a voice in your brain. Fucking is not the only thing I can do for you.
Excellent.
Damn, you don't even have to see me for that? That's
Nope.
Yeah.
Creature within range.
Can I reply to this? I don't even know if I can reply to it. I can't reply to it.
Nope.
There's just a
This
call.
isn't message.
I am spoken for!
Just because there's a goalie doesn't mean there's a goalie.
Just because that's a goalie doesn't mean the can't score.
If you're spoken, I work parties too, you know.
Krieg just quietly
It's-
to himself. I miss my wife.
I miss my wife, Tails.
Oh, I miss my wife, Tails. I miss
Taking
my
that-
life, Reughar. Wait, why are you in my room?
Taking advantage of this brief distraction, Ishmael has put a half step extra distance between himself and this tiefling woman.
Now I really must bid you all adieu. It's been nice meeting everybody. Hopefully our amenities have been sufficient. I must see myself to a meeting with one of my comrades.
Of course. Do take care. Do come see me soon. And she'll-
And I'm going to start making my way downstairs after Veron.
They're here.
Free turns her attention to the prince. So, where were we?
Where were we indeed, madam? Please, tell me, regale me of the closed door.
Well, when Ishmael passes by Cheddars, since you have to go through the kitchen to get there, it seems,
Mm-hmm.
shall I bring you and your friend tea downstairs?
I think the fewer throwable objects we have downstairs, the better.
Understood.
Although I will say, if you still want to bring Krieg, he is upstairs in his room, so
Very well.
And I think we should probably get down to the basement.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and just bring all the players here.
All of us are hovering outside the door.
Dragged
I'm inside your-
kicking and screaming.
Whee!
I'm inside your walls. There's a cat inside your walls.
He's in the walls. They're in the goddamn
We
walls!
can see the map. Do you really need to drag everyone down here?
Like, yeah.
No, not all your tokens. just
I see.
everyone to see the map.
Just the people.
Ishmael, as you descend into the larder, you see the two tanks. You see two tanks sort of hooked up to the side with various pumps on either of them, valves regulating water pressure. Indoor plumbing was a nicety that you are very glad has been carried over from your time in the house of Don Tessele down in Soride.
As I'm making my way across, moving towards where I fully expect Veron to be, I'm sort of taking off my long coat, taking off my vest, and my extra little sash until I'm down to simply the white cotton shirt and kind of throwing it over one of these shelving tables, what have you.
sorry it took me a bit to get down here. We got, well, it was loud enough. You probably heard it from upstairs.
What Ishmael would see is that Veron is actually currently playing, eyes closed. Appears to
Helix, you're cutting in and out.
Little momento.
That's better.
All right, are we good?
Yup.
Okay. So Ishmael, you would see Veron on his knees, and he's like currently what appears to be meditating, and that faint aura that typically happens during combat is faintly just drifting off him as he's sitting there waiting. You'll notice that he has set down his weapons off to the side. He has removed the mantle, and so his entire top half is exposed. And as you walk in, He'll open his eyes. The aura will slowly fade, and then he'll stand. It would be my luck to experience something, hearing and experiencing something that from back home. And yet, I've resolved myself to be preoccupied with this.
The visual part of the performance was interesting to say the least, but I would argue that the singing was the most interesting part. So I would say you got the best of it from down here regardless. I've kind of removed the belt that has my weapon sheathed and set it on the ground behind me.
After a few moments of just quiet, Veron like peering into you. It's been frustrating restraining myself for this long. As he kind of slowly steps.
Yeah, I'd say we've got some shit that we need to take care of.
I'll just be direct about it. Why did you try to kill yourself?
It was the fastest way to try and get to Anea at the time.
And what if it hadn't worked out? What then?
Krieg was right there to heal me to make sure that I didn't fully cross that threshold.
He kind of like looks off to the side. He then takes a breath and he's like, I suppose that slipped my observation. But still. Do you have any concept of what I was carrying around that entire time?
I put a couple of pieces together over time. I was keeping quiet as long as you were for a while, but then Dinar kind of gave it away whenever we were down there. Not to mention whenever we finally had our... When Lukofiax invited me into your little chit-chat for a second. Mostly just confirmed some theories.
I could list a myriad of reasons for being angry.
I've given you plenty.
The divine heeding your call, but not mine. This ability that you were going to use. Use it on some collateral damage no one we were affiliated with. When you could have saved a comrade.
That one hits him. I wasn't strong enough for that then. Believe me, I've been thinking about it every day since.
He He doesn't turn away from you, but his glance just kind of starts to drift back towards the fabric woven into one of his sleeves.
But no. The thing that made me the most infuriated, the most. He points a finger upwards. Not only do you have somebody upstairs, you have somebody else off in Trader's Landing. You have people that actually give a damn about you. And I don't. And you were still willing to take that risk and take your own life. Do you have any idea what would have been like to drag your corpse home, bring it to that woman upstairs, and try to explain why her boy was dead? Or how about explaining to Lorraine? I hate that you put that burden on us.
You're right, it was selfish. I also gave each and every one of you every opportunity to let me go months ago.
Do you really not care? Was that incident just an excuse?
You know, whenever I was younger, my mother used to tell me that I was too honest for my own good. So if you want the full answer, I don't value my own life. At all. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the least important person in this goddamn country.
Well. I think there would be a few people that would disagree with you.
There's a lot of people that would disagree with you, too. On the idea that you don't have anybody. That is.
Veron's weirdly. Veron's just looks off to the side and does his best to shrug it off. Anyone that truly cared for me died a long time ago. I'm done talking. I'm gonna knock some sense into you.
About time.
And
Hey,
before
Jake, give us an initiative tracker.
I was hoping you were going to ask.
Before we kick this off, you'll see Veron, wave have emotions, and the mantle off to the sides begins to glow. And Jake, Veron's going to summon a constellar dragon. He doesn't give a specific name. And the moment they appear, he simply states, I'm having to deal with personal business. So this is your order. Ensure no one interferes. You don't have to hurt them, just intercept them. I don't want interference.
There's going to be a side eye looking at Ishmael. I need you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh no, did my sheet close out? Oh, it must have when I... Give me a second.
Year.
Wait. Uh, 19. Oh shit, that was... Sorry about that.
That is to GM, that's fine. They're going to sort of step behind you. It's worth noting, though they are a dragon spirit, their form is at least somewhat corporeal. As you hear the tanks behind you begin to strain, as this creature puts its weight upon it and uses its wings to kind of brace itself against the ceiling in here.
Okay. Now we should be set.
Gentlemen's agreement, this bypasses temp HP from the Hero's Feast so we can save it for an actual combat.
Well, it's max HP, not temp.
True.
Yeah, so we should be fine on that front.
Alright, we're good then. I have mine written down in temp because editing hit point maximum is funky on my end.
Okay.
Veron and Ishmael both. You hear a low growl. This is a private affair. Whoever you are skulking around in there, out of here!
Damn, already? We haven't even started.
One more thing here. That's that plus that. Also, Ishmael, you are going to hear something. You hear the sound of the trap door that leads to the bar, or the cellar door that leads into the back of the bar close as well.
I guess before Ishmael turns around, do I happen to see from my perspective?
No. You aren't really able. It's like it's blocked off, and the lighting is low enough from the dining hall and the back of the bar that you weren't able to tell a difference.
I'm not gonna turn to look.
All right.
Okay.
Initiatives, please, gentle goons.
Ooh, 8, fun.
Natural 20.
Hmm. Then it would seem we have an initiative. Veron, you're up first.
Veron will crack his fist. Feel free to use what you like, but I'll need nothing but these. And he's just, with the men's peak, gonna spring forward. And Jay, can we get a little more uppity music?
I could theoretically oblige. I've been keeping that tension here, but I can throw on a combat track. As soon as I find the playlist I've got it on, Jesus.
Be much appreciated, thank you. All right, to start off, Ishmael, you'll see Veron like lunge forward in a very. The amount of speed that for a guy that the size of Veron is a bit disturbing. And he's gonna waste no time, and he's gonna go for an immediate just right hook haymaker. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Holmes.
That's a natural 20.
Sure is. Bones time.
It's a total of 8 bludgeoning. With a resounding crack. It would seem that Veron's a little more capable than just wielding weapons. Wasting no time, he's gonna, bring around with the other fist. That's an 11.
That does not hit, even unarmored.
All right, I do need to adjust my AC.
Yes. You have doffed the armor.
He would be at with his dragon hide. That. Okay. And with his left missing, he's gonna try to kick upwards. 12.
Nope.
All right. That's it for me.
A flurry of strikes comes at you, Ishmael. You are up.
As soon as the opening swing connects with Ishmael's jaw, you see him look back at you with this just wild fucking grin that you haven't seen on him in a long time. Before I am going to attempt to make an athletics check to knock you prone.
Okay.
Contesting athletics or acrobatics of your choice. Veron.
19. You knock my ass over.
Yep, as Ishmael steps in and with equally trained precision grabs you by either side of your belt and hooks his right heel behind your right, and just lifts and drops you.
Veron, you are now prone.
Myself that.
However, I only have one attack per turn, so that is my full action.
Remind me, do I make attacks at disadvantage if I'm prone, or is it just straight still?
Melee attacks are, I believe, at disadvantage for when you are prone. Creatures' only movement option is to crawl unless they stand up and spend half of their movement. Disadvantage on all attack rolls.
Okay.
And melee attacks within 5 feet have advantage.
And once you're down there, Ishmael kind of looks at you.
You think you're not being selfish too, pretending like the rest of us don't give a shit that you're here?
And that's my turn.
Veron.
Veron will roll over and then spring back up, and while carrying himself forward, he's gonna do an uppercut.
Sure you can!
Yeah.
For a total of 16.
Yeah.
Burning Fury that he'll continue on with his left side. He'll strike upwards and do an elbow strike. Whoops, wrong one. Sorry. You want to ride that one?
It's with your shield. I'm presuming you don't get a bonus if you've select
No,
the option without.
It's the same.
Yeah. Go ahead and let it ride.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Ignore this one. The damage. There's a damage difference, however. So ignore this one. This is just for me getting damage out. 6.
Alternatively, Helix, if you want to just click on that option from an earlier strike, if you have like a miss roll or like you know that the damage is gonna roll again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're.
And finally, Veron's gonna grab both of your shoulders, Ishmael, and she's gonna go for a fucking headbutt. $15?
Yup.
People only care about me because I'm useful. And that's all it is. There's two things that you are in this life. You're either useful or a burden. That'll be turn.
Back to you, Ishmael.
Still maintaining the clinch here, with the headbutt. I am going to attempt to meet that in turn. I don't have proficiency in unarmed strikes, so these are all going to be just straight strength checks for the sake of not having to look through my dozen attacks that I have on this fucking page. 14.
Am I doing contesting strength here?
No,
this is an unarmed attack flavored.
This is an unarmed strike.
All right, gotcha. No.
So yeah, yours doesn't hurt the way his doesn't hurt the way yours clearly hurt him.
In that case, then which one am I? Useful or a burden?
No bonus action, I presume?
No.
Alright. Turn. Veron.
Ishmael, you'll begin to see the familiar auras that surround Veron, and Veron's going to use Fighting Spirit. This will be with advantage. He's going to go in for a knee strike as he grabs your shoulders again. $27
Yup.
for 12 bludgeoning. And at any time, reminder, Jake, I'm intending to be non-lethal, of course.
Yeah. For the record, first blood is half of your hit point total. Half of your max.
Oh yeah, no, I've had blood coming out of my mouth since last fucking round.
Okay.
You know what, fuck it. Veron will this time attempt to sweep your leg and then attempt to knock you prone. Does a shove attack? Do I still benefit from my advantage with that?
No, it is a contesting ability check.
Okay, got it. Nope.
It's the first roll we'd be going with anyway. 20.
20 does it.
Your legs get swept up from any of you as you're on your back again. And with that, Veron's going to attempt to stomp your chest with his feet.
Smash cut to Krieg, by the way, who up in his room he's hearing all this and it's just like, oh, about time.
That's a good question. Do we hear
About
all of
time
this
they got
fighting?
to it.
You've heard a little bit of yelling free, and certainly Cheddars. Reughar as well as another party. Continue your combat, please, at your leisure.
I do hope they kiss about it.
27 definitely hits.
For an additional 8.
Yeah.
You're far more useful than me. That'll be turn.
Before your next turn, Ishmael,
Okay.
on initiative count 20, you're going to hear the trapdoor to the bar slam open as someone is down here quick as a flash. Your Constellar Dragon Spirit's initiative is...
I think he follows the same initiative as Veron.
He will follow yours. Given that he was holding an action to impede anyone coming down here, that is going to trigger his held attempts to grapple. Behind him, you will hear the sound of individuals in plate mail moving. And as he enters the basement, as the Constellar Dragon Spirit begins to move towards this figure, you will see Eilberth catch this dragon's claw, move his right hand to his face, and then slam him into the wall as he is going to yell, "Enough! Enough of this!"
I think I cut out from a little me. Who came down?
Eelberth. As he is hanging onto this dragon's head. He is furious. Get up, the both of you!
Well, Veron's already standing. Ishmael's on his ass. But, hey, Jake.
Yes.
Hmm.
Probably at that moment, that's where Krieg's like, "Ah, shit, here we go."
Mm-hmm.
Slowly start making his way downstairs.
That is going to be Eelberth's turn.
I'm trying to decide how I want to do this.
Ishmael, it's your turn.
It sure is. Still on the ground. I can make ability checks just fine. So, Veron, do me a favor and roll another contested athletics, as I'm going to try and pull you down with me.
Okay. $19.
25. Yup. Grabbing your ankle still on my chest. Ishmael is able to kind of reach a sitting position, grab your knee, and buckle your leg in order to sort of get you in half of a pin, and then just kind of sitting there. You need to shut the fuck up, because I can't fight those demons for you, but god damn it, let me help you fight them anyway. Quit being so fucking proud and let your friends in for a change. And then, arms under you, I'm going to try and get both of us back to our feet.
And that, my friends, is... I feel that's an appropriate place to end initiative. In the waking seconds, in the immediate wake, the following occurs. Reughar, you quickly arrive in the kitchens. You blur past Krieg, as you all heard the thundering yell throughout the entirety of this place.
It should be known, Krieg not moving very fast.
Yeah, understandable. Have a
Krieg
day.
is out for a walk. He's just like, "Yep, I'll make my way down there."
Making my way downtown, walking slow. My hips hurt.
Yeah.
Please knock it
I
off.
am old.
Walk.
I'm geriatric. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the blur is just meep meep. As Reughar puts a step in the window, dash and action dash.
Free comes out of the fucking party room, and you hear her delicately click click. Well, with yelling like that, I would expect a threesome going on.
Reughar, Krieg, Free, and Cheddars, you who find yourselves in the kitchens above. Yoink. Feel free to drag your tokens down here.
Oh God, where is? You're gonna have to drag me, Jake.
I will be happy to.
It should
Jake,
be noted that Krieg is not in his armor at this point, and so is wearing. I'm not even sure he's wearing anything. I think he was probably just getting out of his gear. No, he probably would have a shirt on. He probably has like a sleeveless, like almost
An
like
A-shirt.
what's that?
Like an A shirt, you know how it's like, you know, an
Yeah,
athletic shirt?
kinda.
For the record, throughout all of this, Eelberth has not let go of this spirit.
Do we all see the spirit?
You all see the spirit, and you all see Eelberth's hand just dug into this thing's face.
My, what an interesting abode we've come to.
Very.
Upstairs, in the dining hall, all of you. All of you!
Yes, right. Of course, Your Grace. Hi. Come on, everybody.
He's going to look at you, Veron.
Oh. Is he? Is Reughar trying to shoo free up the stairs?
This is actually the first time he's actually seen her. It's just like, hi, hello.
Also,
Oh.
actually, no, yeah. Hey, could everyone make wisdom saves for me, please?
Okay.
Sure.
Hold on a second.
This is
let
a
me
fear
just
effect.
double-
We're immune to it because of the Hero's Feast.
Those of you that are not immune to the frightened condition.
Hold on, Jake. I'm gonna DM you something.
Krieg is just expressionless as Reughar
Oh, hey.
scrambles past
Reughar,
him
you don't
again.
need to roll, dude. You're
You
immune.
don't need to roll. You are under the effect of Hero's Feast.
All right.
Oh, damn. I was gonna be like,
Alright,
Reughar,
hear me out.
11,
It is
11,
Reughar.
11.
11 again. That's right. Goddamn.
It's okay, Reughar.
And Free,
Okay.
Yeah.
you are also immune due to certain side effects. Hee hee hoo hoo.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's fair. And either way, Free is ignoring the king entirely. He has locked onto Reughar, and she gently puts her fingers under his chin. Well, look at you. What a rare... What a... Shh, calm. She'll put her fingers on your lips.
It's just like, it really does it.
Madam Oiron, there will be time enough for that later.
Krieg is going to scoop up Reughar just under his arm like a briefcase. Come on, love bug. It's gonna start going.
Free comments to Cheddars. He's awful with women. I'll definitely teach him a few things. And then she'll go upstairs.
Oh, there is a lot you could teach him.
No, I love the shy ones. And she goes upstairs.
He's
Yo.
just following along. Perhaps I should give him some advice first.
No.
Nah, no fun.
Johann and Bastion are stumbling down the stairs afterwards, only to hear Eelberth yell and both turn tail and head back
Also,
up.
just somewhere off in the far distance, just cheeky freaky.
Yes, correct.
That degenerate is welcome to try.
Veron,
One to another, let's go.
Rapidly approaching your location.
Veron, Eelberth is going to stare daggers at you. Dismiss this creature.
Veron is like. You know what, Jake? Make a persuasion check.
Oh, my friend. You shouldn't have said that. He has a bonus to these. How's for a 22?
So, here's what happens. There's a long pause as Veron reciprocates the dagger, like, But then he'll slowly raise a hand and he'll like do a waving motion, and the dragon disperses.
You are very lucky that I have already moved my son out of this premises. I will have words. As he is going to turn and proceed up the stairs. So we return to the first floor.
Before that happens, as people are leaving, they'll hear a infuriated yell as Veron like chucks like a barrel across the room.
It shatters on the unlit torch that switches down and lowers the secret door that leads to your party's war room proper. Probably gonna need to get that fixed.
Apparently nobles don't have any honor left these days, as he's gonna march in the different stairway. Oh no, actually no. I'll go kitchen way. Fuck it.
Ishmael shrugs his vest and coat back on, equally dissatisfied.
By the way, for Ishmael and Veron, on this little table right here, I'm assuming that's it, there are 2 cups of steaming tea.
I grab both just to make sure.
No, you can't escape me, Milla.
You've
You've been
Krieg still
you've-
carrying Reughar, walks into the dining room, dissatisfied for different reasons, and like shuffling Reughar in his hands, like to spin him around and plant him in the chair. He goes, just muttering loud enough so those in his immediate vicinity would hear, but not like making it like a public thing. I don't know what they thought would happen when they decided to fight while there were guests in the house, but whatever. And just at that, just Rughar's butt hits chair.
Yeah, just.
Free has appeared over his shoulder, and her hand rests on his shoulder.
For the record,
No, it's-
Veron, the second you step into the room, Ilberth's guards' eyes are both directly on you. And
Free looks up.
they stick right next to you the entire time.
Hey, Veron, look across the room. You see somebody that's similar. You see someone whose profession is from your homeland, homie.
He notices, but he's a bit distracted at the moment.
As you go to put your hand on Rughar's shoulder, you just see him just fumbling around with a lizard in his hands, just almost like an emotional support animal at this point.
Emotional support lizard. Yes.
Oh, is that
Of course, the third of the Wonder Trio, Earl, Manda, and now Nero.
Oh, a lizard. Is that what we're calling it nowadays?
You don't see me, Manda, but I'm craning like 180 degrees up into my mic as I'm staring over my shoulder right now.
she'll reach down and she'll gently pat the lizard with her middle finger.
Make an animal handling check.
Don't be shy. I'll hear
Free.
Numph. Oh god.
Ngang.
Oh, he bites. That's okay.
Oh.
And she leans into Rughar's ear. I bite too.
Boy, the mood is all over the
She
place.
has an answer for everything. This is insane.
She cannot be stopped.
Amazing. And
Bro, she said it to Ishmael. She is the best.
And as you all collect yourselves in the dining hall, with Eelberth waiting, slicking back his hair and just raking his fingers through it, this is where we're gonna take another bio break.
Cool. Wonderful.
Alright, perfect.
As we return,
Uh-huh.
he is going to... Eelberth is going to wait for Veron to sit down. For Ishmael to sit down.
Veron
Johan-
is fucking standing. He's not sitting.
Fonz is going to come up on your left. Veron. What the hell just happened?
Personal business that was interrupted.
Yes, interrupted at the behest of one of your own wards. And in so doing, forced me... Ah! Veron, I want you to make a... Actually, no, all of you who have met a dragon. Reughar, Krieg, Ishmael. All of you need to make intelligence checks. I think you might know why.
Oh. Oh. What? Wait.
That snarl was... That snarl was nearly feral.
Penny.
Hey,
Wait.
Jiggles, check your DMs real quick.
Mhm.
Yes, my two goons.
Uh-huh. Hi, we're still here.
Yeah.
Have That's a good question. Have I met dragons? Wink, wonk.
11.
Follow-up question, have you seen them mad?
I don't know. How into it did they get?
Fair. Make your rolls.
Awesome. Okay.
Wonderful.
Just intelligence?
Just flat intelligence. It's your memory you're relying on.
Mm.
Alright.
Well, there was that one dragon that we managed to piss off because of tide or surge.
I hit roll to public. Why did that roll to GM? What the fuck is going on?
Is the tool set to roll to DM?
I had it set to public, but whatever.
DC
It was a
7.
7 anyway.
DC 7, my friends.
Oh, okay. I guess it works.
There is something very feral about that growl, that snarl. Before I say my piece, I am going to let Barry look over her son.
Oh. Free will look back at Ishmael. Is he beat to fuck up?
Oh yeah. He doesn't look like he gives a shit about it.
Here, allow me, my lord.
No, don't you dare.
Simple healing magic, nothing more.
Don't you dare. And you know why.
As he gives a knowing look to Barry.
John, I trust you.
We were settling things like we did back home.
And why don't I see a lick of... Why don't I even see a bruise on him? Some things you can't outmaneuver. A force like him, I think, qualifies. Be smarter. I raised you to be smarter. She's gonna step back. Your Majesty, you have the floor. You will hear the door slowly click shut. All of you. As I had explained to your undead compatriot that stands in the back, Master KV, my son was not aware of my presence here until minutes ago. He decided to overstep his bounds. Speak with your Knoll companion, Johann, there. And attempt to host a stag party before his betrothal is announced at the Summer's End Festival. I caught wind of this, and I waited for him, and I waited outside when you arrived. I had intended to scold him and take him back to Riversbreak Keep. But the announcement of a dragon in the depths of this place admittedly spurred some parental concern. I do not know the ways of the people up in Sumer, Ishmael. Nor do I know the honors of your empire, Veron. I have long seen and looked at Atenir with, at the very least, a suspecting eye.
Oh no, we lost Milla.
We did lose Milla.
Looks, I don't see him online.
Oh,
No, neither.
did we lose him entirely?
Oh yeah, we lost. Yeah, it looks like it.
Hmm,
I think his internet.
likely.
Oh, yep, there
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
Brief pause, chat, as we try to get one of our players back.
Uh-oh.
I'm curious, at least from Eelberth's perspective. I'm gonna go ahead and have him read the room to kind of buffer things. We'll end with Reughar.
Mhm.
It's not hard to read Krieg, I'll tell you straight up. The look on his face, the emotionless expression. He saw all the fucking boxes of dynamite laying around and it was like, I'm waiting for the fucking spark. And that spark was the fight between Veron and Ishmael. And Krieg is just like, yep, this is how I foresaw this going. And he is just unperturbed.
Freya's smirking. She looks like a cat who caught the canary. She has her fan open and she's just kind of looking between each of the deal breakers in the room. She did, like Krieg, she's unbothered by being yelled at.
Cheddars is also watching the Dealbreakers. He's his eyes are less the smug cat, more assessing threat levels at the moment, like who seems like they might go after someone, blah, blah, blah. Practice hand of a bodyguard.
Hmm. Describe, Veron, the amount of ire, please, for me, that Veron holds for Eelberth.
I mean, besides remaining standing, arms crossed, his aura has not dropped.
He's got aura, bro.
Menace, menace, menace.
Oh no, you guys can actually literally see it.
Oh,
There's a
yes.
faint glowing aura that glows or flows off at the top of him.
Mm.
Hence, probably why the guards are staring daggers at me too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Ishmael, when Eelberth meets your gaze, what does he see?
He sees someone glaring with equal... What's the word here? Condescension? As equally angry that Eelberth is with Ishmael and Veron for having their confrontation downstairs, Ishmael is upset at Eelberth and his mother for how they are treating Veron. He is most furious at the fact that they are treating Veron as some sort of villain or wronged party in this situation.
Okay.
Ugh. Sorry, I had to pause to sneeze.
That's fine.
For KV, Veron, based on his body language, based on him seeing Eelberth rush out with unnatural speed, definitely outpacing his guards. How is KV witnessing this situation?
He's mildly intrigued, but prefers not to.
Apologies, everyone. I'm back. Huh.
Welcome back.
Marvelous.
Welcome back.
alive.
What have I missed?
Not much. I've sort of been having Eelberth sort of read the room, basically.
All right.
But yeah, KV is more or less just taking a bit of a passive stance, not wanting to get involved and step on any toes. He
You got cut off at the end there.
keeps himself a bit of a distance to not really take part of business he has currently no stake in, but he is just curiously observing.
Reughar.
Yep.
With the unnatural fury, the definitely inhuman fury that Eilberth has displayed, how is Reughar holding up mentally in this position, in this situation as a whole?
He is definitely feeling tense between, the obvious mood of Castere, his, feral outlash, the tension in the room, and also a pretty woman on shoulder. It's kind of adding up.
Free will take her hand off your shoulder, just to give you some breathing room.
All right, and he, relaxes a little bit, at least.
What I am about to say does not leave this room. Master Wizard!
Yes, how may I be of service?
Do you or any of your compatriots have the capability of casting Private Sanctum? If not, I can do it myself.
I believe he does have it, actually. One sec.
He's casted it before. The question is, does he have it prepared?
He's also a ritual caster. I believe.
I don't think Private Sanctum is ritual cast.
No. I'm thinking Liamon's tiny hut.
Yes. Wait, did I pick my spells for today? Shit.
You would have picked them at the start of session last week.
You totally have it prepared. Totally shifty eye, shifty eye, shifty eye.
At this current moment, he currently does not have it prepared, unfortunately. He'll speak. Unfortunately, not today, sire.
Fine. A moment of your patience. As Eilberth is going to pull out a tome from the inside, from a pocket of one of his robes, flip it open, and begin arcane chanting over the course of the casting time, running the perimeter of the room as best he can.
I think as this is happening, and it's kind of like sort of gotten quiet, and enough time, I think, is passed that Veron will finally calm down a little bit, and he'll see the aura fading around him. But his arms are still crossed, and he's still staring daggers.
When he as he returns to the stage and finishes with a motion, Sanctus! He is going to close the book with a command, as you are going to all see shadows fall around.
Ooh, it's getting interesting now, isn't it? She snaps her fan closed.
Whatever amount you are going to demand, he's going to point a finger directly at you, Free. Whatever you will demand to keep this secret, I will pay. I have 400 years worth of coin to back this up.
Why, my lord, whatever do you mean? She'll kind of gently tug on her earring. I haven't heard a thing. And she gives you this very wide smile. She's happy to take his coin. I'm sorry, the gods have blessed me with such awful hearing.
Before I do anything else, the rest of you. Reughar, I advise you bring your sister into this room as well.
Of course, Your Grace, and he'll...
She's waiting outside of the door.
just open the door, pokes his head out, looks to find her.
As you open the door, she's immediately recoiling. Shit!
Oh, she's cute.
Quite so.
He'll beckon her in and then shut the door behind her.
She's gonna sit down on the other side of Free.
Hi.
She's not even gonna fully turn to face you.
That's okay.
Just be goofily awkward. Reughgar's actually gonna sit the chair that's closer to the door and away
Aw.
from Free at the moment.
Oh, he's shy.
I think you scared him.
She fake cries. Oh. Hurt. But enough silliness, my lord.
He's going to turn from Free. His gaze follows Reughar and Selfie as they both sit down. He's going to look at you, Veron, first, and then to Ishmael. You two? Do I have to worry about you, speaking of the events that are about to unfold? He's going to await a response from either of you. Or both of you.
Keeping secrets is in my profession, Your Excellency.
If I'm asked to give my word, I'll keep it.
You are being asked.
Fine.
You're going to see for a second as the steely gray of his eyes is going to almost become a radiant white hot, as that light is going to wash over his human form, eventually moving to reveal something else. As this human form fades away, the first thing your eyes are drawn to, as the light fades and a very clearly larger, more reptilian form has replaced it, your eyes are drawn to his own. The wild, steely gray is now flecked with orange and gold. Speckled rings are rimmed by the silvery blue whites of his eyes that sit deep within this creature's long, narrow face, pouring out intrigue, concern, and curiosity in equal measure from the font-like eyes. He is scanning each and every face in this room as if he is looking at you for the first time. at this room for the first time, at this world through its truest lens for the first time in quite a while. He's taken a few seconds to search your collective reactions as he brings his neck back, shifting, tucking in what looks like massive steel-feathered wings along his flanks, the largest of which dwarf even Veron, Krieg, and Cheddars in height. His brow now is no longer crowned by the silvery gray behind his temples, but a sextet of enormous, rigid, sword-sharp horns which strike out and away from his brow across each of his temples, ascending in pairs on either side of his head, curling back around his skull to the end of each. These 6 scimitar blades of bluish steel keratin that look as much lethal weapon as an ornamental crown tops his draconic visage. A row of spikes trails back down his neck that are encircled at their bases with rusty red-brown tissue whose color fades into the same steely gray as his scales. Small, opaque crystals of what look like iron pyrite are even present, and a couple of them close to his shoulder blades. Below and back behind his largest horns are thick, almost goat-like ears that are held parallel to the ground, sticking about at most a foot out from his head. And you see, on that still, on each of those, 4 rings hanging from them loosely. Its nose follows a slightly familiar concave, though less extreme curve that you've seen on a dragon recently, to end at an angular, almost pentagonal front nose. Split, his nostrils split. His scaled lips are going to part as his first words in this form reveal polished silver fangs and almost rust patinaed gums along the inside of his mouth. And so, 430 years of secrecy undone. Concern for my spawn. The freedom of living amongst my people and seeing what they can accomplish firsthand is lost to me. You do not know me. Not truly. My name is not Eilberth. Not truly. I am the once and present steward of the Broken River. I am the husband of Lundra and Rotaya. And if the old sentinel is to be believed, I am the first among my kin. Old Steel Dragon. Argonaas, ira ketril aes huert du him. He spits the last words out of his mouth, as if detesting Draconic as a language. And he will look at you. Let me show you another fine piece of art. Oh, it's not in a handout, son of a bitch. Let's fix that.
Do you need it again?
Nope, I have it. I have that shit saved.
Okay. Thumbs up emoji.
And I know where to go looking for it. Characters, NPCs. This face is in profile, but I think you will all enjoy it. Hey, I wonder who drew that. Wonder who drew that.
Couldn't imagine.
Couldn't be MandalouPanda.
Couldn't fathom.
No. Sorry, I was too busy that day.
Truly.
I know who it was.
It was me, Austin! It was me
No.
all along!
It was Adnam, Mandalou's evil twin.
God, there's an evil version of me. The world is doomed.
Or maybe good twin, I don't know.
I don't know.
Not Max Dan, her nobody.
Maximum Dan!
My, this is news indeed, Free says gently.
If the Steel Dragon is waiting for a response from Ishmael, he seems unimpressed.
Veron is the exact same.
Cheddars is just kind of sitting there, leaned back in his chair, smirking, and he'll glance over at Free. This was not the what I was expecting to happen today, but here we are.
God, I love surprises.
Reughar just kind of looks at it. After the shock wears off, he kind of gets a note of confirmation when he looks at us. Oh, that explains it.
I have not stood sentinel over my country for hundreds of years to see the most powerful defenders of this realm fight each other. There is sparring, there is testing one's own strength, and then there's whatever the hell that was.
Yes, quite, with settling business? As Reughar just looks confusedly to Ishmael and Veron.
You owe an explanation to your comrades as much as to me. More so, even.
The explanation is simpler than you might imagine. Veron, would you like to give it or shall I?
Feel free.
It's just how men like us settle these kinds of things. Sometimes just yelling your words across the table aren't quite good enough. When it's an issue among warriors, sometimes you have to let the fists do the talking.
Well,
And I believe we were starting to get through to one another right before you interrupted us.
At the risk of being contrarian, what is the saying? Boys will be boys.
I believe that's the saying, yes, as Reughar just looks over to Free. Well,
She winks at him.
yeah. Reughar just kind of... What was the dispute about?
That's between me and Veron.
Oh, another time then, I suppose. That's what Reughar just kind of leaves it at that.
I implore you, whatever issues you think belong between the both of you, a burden is shared. A burden shared is a burden lightened.
That's
I am
part
not
of what I
saying
was-
immediately, but he's going to turn to Veron. I need everyone in this room at their best. Everyone. That which you have done over the past year, since the turning of spring, has been in service to my kingdom, whether willingly or unwillingly. I owe you all an apology for not being upfront with the need of which, the desperation of which I needed your assistance, and still do. You are welcome to refuse what I have to ask of you, and after this, I am almost certain a few of you will. But the peace I have long nurtured in this nation is under threat. From someone working in concerted effort. I don't know what personal business you have in the coming weeks, but I have received word that Archduke Ergastaf Halbend will be paying a visit to Riversbreak Keep in a month and a half. For reasons he will not disclose. Between this and reports from General Lantaum in Etvale Castle, I fear that Taipenden moves for war. And that Ergastaf means to deliver the declaration personally.
It's
If
at
I am bold to-
around these past few moments where he's like started like talking about like what he wants after he's finished yelling at the boys and has gotten down to business. It really, like, in that moment feels like Krieg has clicked and he's like locked in, like, this is important.
So am I of the understanding that you are to send us as envoys for this? As he looks up to Castair.
You are not going to operate as my envoys outside of my borders. I ask you to be in attendance in service of my direct protection. Ergastaf has collaborators. I know it. And I expect him and his allies to likely attempt something.
See.
Mistress Free, I know your
Yes, my dear.
I know your relations with Dame Greyfist.
Mm-hmm.
And I am loath to separate you, as she is a close friend of mine.
Well, I am as my name is.
I will need.
What is it that you need of me, my lord?
In addition to the secrecy for this, I'm going to ask you to infiltrate. I'm going to ask you and Cheddars to infiltrate, to the best of your ability, the High Court in Taipenden.
Ooh. I do love rubbing elbows with the bourgeoisie.
This should be fun.
I need you to find anyone amongst Ergostaf's cabinet that is either opposed to the thought of war with their closest and oldest neighbor, or bring me news that none exist.
Of course. You may as well just ask me to take a walk on a day.
Jake, just a quick above-game question.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been in that neck of the woods before?
Taipenden's basically a hop, skip, and a jump away from Argonaas capital.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure. There should already be seeds on there we can harvest.
I'm sure there are. Oh my, I will have to look in my little black book, I suppose. And she will snap her fingers, and in a little bit of a flash of white light, there's it's probably the size of an address book. It's just a little black book. And she just kind of flips it open. Taipenden. She's flipping through with her fingers. Jake, do I have any names that would be of use to these people?
Checked pin messages in our DMs, you should.
Oh.
You should have at least one.
Hold on. Yum, yum, yum. I need to get rid of that one because it is not needed anymore.
There. I replied to it so you can immediately jump.
Oh, there it is. Oh god, you're gonna have... Oh, wait! Oh, there it is. There's this... Free has been kind of... She's kind of had this little bit of a flirty little smug look on her face this entire time. Her expression actively grimaces for a change. Oh. Him. Ugh, she rolls her eyes. I do know someone in Taipenden. But who am I to deny the request of a king and quite the payday? How does... Am I allowed to release this name, Jakels? As it is this dude. Turning to the bottom of our DMs. Oh, okay. We're picking out two different people.
They're right next to each other, so I don't blame you.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Oh, I guess I have two of them. I'm sorry. I apparently cannot read. This dress is so heavy. She says, gently kind of tugging at her own collar. But my question remains the same. Do I release these names to the group?
That is up to you.
Sure, why not?
The king has essentially the Dragon King of Argonaas has... Let me rephrase that. The Dragon King Argonaas has entrusted you with his deepest secret.
You know what? That's
the namesake.
You know what? That's fair. You know what? Just for gigs and shiggles and to keep everyone in the... Oh, I do have people that I can fancy. How does one... Oh god, I can't pronounce this name. Klaus Lenher and Archduke Ergstaf Halbend.
Do not consort with the Archduke.
I'm telling you, my lord, that I have access to them. I know quite a few of their little secrets. Birthmarks, kinks, this and that, a little of everything. You tell me what you want to know.
Oh, he's the one with that cute little blonde maid. She likes to talk.
Mm. Klaus likes to be told that he's a good boy and have a head pat.
There is a bit of a sigh from Argonaas. Little bit. That is a little bit rich for information, but
Well, you asked.
I did.
Let me put it to you
Use
this
your-
way, my lord. I can tell you what you want, when you want.
You really, really want. Oh.
Use your contacts as you see fit.
Of course. Cheddars. Give the man one of my... Give the... she's gonna gesture at this guard. Give him one of my... Give him one of my flowers. So that the Lord may contact me at his leisure.
Cheddars will do just that. He'll walk over, pull something from his a pouch at his hip, and press it into the guard's hand.
It is around this time that Krieg is like looking at Cheddars, like still trying to process him. Like in his head, he's like, "What the fuck is this guy? Is he a chef? Is he a servant? What?" Like, he'll never admit to this, but he's just like, "What the fuck is this guy? What does he? What are you?"
If you guys want to...
I'm gonna insight just to see if I can... How much I can beat this.
While you're doing that, if anybody wants to roll perception check to see what the
Krieg
letter...
is emotionless, so I don't even know.
His eyes get a little wider, maybe.
There is
Cheddars-
a very slight squint of curiosity from Krieg.
Cheddars is just gonna waggle his eyebrows at Krieg. Before...
There's the very, very slight forming of a smile on like the edges of his lips, just like, "You're a little shit. I like you."
And you know what?
Shelby, we may be rivals, we may be enemies, but I like you, I think.
And I'm just gonna do something else real quick. I'm gonna walk over to Ishmael, whisper something in his ear, and smack him on the face. To heal him for 30 points of damage. Gaia, I will DM you what I whisper.
If anybody wants to see what the thing is that Cheddar gave them, I can put it here into the general text.
Feel free.
Let's see. Well, you see, it's basic. It's about the size of a business card, but it's this sigil, and it does look like it's made of gold and gems, and
Pretty.
if you've seen the sigil before, that is up to Jekyll to determine.
Gilberth is
There you
going.
go, Gaia. And this is what I did.
I thought so.
And then, just settle back into his chair.
Gilberth is going to take a moment. He has not really seated himself, and he's kind of dividing his weight between the stage behind him as well as the floor in front of him.
He sploot.
He's not splooting.
He dragon sploot.
He's loafing.
Yeah, there you go.
Almost
dragon
loafing.
slope.
If he were to lay down, he would be loafing. However, he's still like half standing.
Oh, though I suppose I should probably give one of you Dealbreakers my card as well, shouldn't I? She'll reach in to her kimono, and she'll pull one of these out, and she'll walk over here directly to Veron and offer it to him. For the elite. As we've not been properly introduced yet.
Veron will turn his attention to her, sort of drop the dead stare at Argonaas, but to a more, just a more passive expression. You never really, fully paid full attention to her presence before because of shit going on. So,
actually, we'll put her right here. But yeah, she definitely is. She is from the motherland. You can definitely tell.
he'll reach out and he'll take it.
Out of curiosity, anyone trained in religion?
Me. Yeah.
Roll. Yep.
Nope, that's a 10.
You would be surprised. You haven't seen many of them. But it takes you a while to think you're thinking on, like, your mind drifts to Free's appearance. Specifically her tiefling features, her horn. The coloration of her skin. She's a Tolveroth tiefling. You would likely have heard at least a little bit of another one of the archons of the Hells. You would know the name Tolvir and at least the generally conspired appearance. Argonaas is going to take a moment and resume his human form. He is going to approach Veron.
After putting away what he was given.
There you go. That's what it does.
Oh, okay.
I just DM'd it to you.
Got it. He'll turn his attention back to Castier. Less of a death glare and more just kind of an annoyed expression, really.
If Lontown falls, I'm going to need a trusted commander. Trusted commander who has experience.
Are you saying you currently don't have any?
I am saying I may need you. You are one of my... Between you and Ishmael, you two are what I would consider the best candidates to take command of the River Guard in the event their current command structure is compromised. Lonrus will die before he sees Etvale fall. If you hear news of that, expect a message from me. I don't expect an answer immediately, but I will be in touch. I have heaped quite enough onto your plates this evening. If you don't mind, I have a son to discipline. For misuse of my...
No, you need... There's one more thing that you need before you leave here. I'll get up and start making my way down to Argonaas. There is someone who needs to speak with you. At which point I will produce from my coat a very fancy looking box. Have I shown this one to you yet?
Not officially. But... reports from... The reports from Nazafine have been enlightening.
Well, there was someone else at Lundra's that would have much appreciated a visit while you were there the other day. At which point I am going to present Teosphere, now sporting a small piece of Dinar's spirit. Place your hand on it so that he can speak with you.
He is going to specifically grab for the bauble of dragon glass. And you're gonna see his eyes kind of go all white. And he's going to be paused, basically frozen there, paralyzed, for the course of about 15 to 16 seconds. Before he releases it, and you see a golden burn mark on his hand where he was grasping it. I see.
So I will give you this. I will agree to defend you and to assist in ensuring that this war with Taipenden does not come to pass. But I want you to understand that I do not do this for Argonaas, you or the land. I do this because I have much bigger fish to fry, and Argonaas and Taipenden going to war is not grease that I need in that pan.
I understand.
My father is my foremost concern. Any further conflict before we have to deal with him is too much of an issue.
I fear he may be more connected to this than... I fear he may be connected to this.
Of course he is. That's why you need me.
At the mention of Ishmael's father, Krieg suddenly becomes much more tense.
Feeling that behind him, I do actually also turn to Krieg. Krieg, you and I also... There's something I'd like to talk about with you. Don't worry, I'm not going to punch you. That's just a me and Veron thing.
Oh, I figured that. Never this time, then.
And as for your son, turning back to Ilbirth, inverted commas. Tell him that I'm sorry for ruining his little stag party, and also that he really should have thought through before he tried holding it in an adventuring party's guild hall in the first place.
He has much to learn.
Well, at least he was a gentleman.
If he was anything less, I would expect you to tell me.
Oh, of course, he and his little friends were wonderful gentlemen. Although his little friend, the girl with the curls, stared a little too long. Cheddars, get her a card.
There's going to
Of course.
There's going to be a blink. Just for a moment.
She grins.
He's gonna turn.
She simply looked like she needs someone to talk to, woman to woman.
Reughar, you're going to see Ilberth's gaze turn to you. I'm aware of what your speakers are doing. Your speaker friends are doing, Reughar. If you need assistance, contact Shelanov. He is currently the head of my response to whatever the hell the Cult of Dumas is doing in my city.
Oh, right. Any assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Dumas, that was the name.
Now, I apologize for keeping you. Kind of looks idly and just palms the gold scar, burn scar that's already forming. Now that I have been thoroughly chastised, I have some chastising of my own to do. Do any of the rest of you have need of me?
You know how to reach my coffers. So no.
I'm assuming you will not be returning for dinner, so...
My apologies, I will have to take a rain check on your next catering. On your next occasion catering a meal.
Cheddars will just shrug a bit. It was paid for, so I suppose the people here will just get to enjoy it anyway.
Krieg will speak up. Kind of stepping forward a bit. Stepping between Cheddars and the fair lady. For what it was worth, thank you for coming here. And Krieg will actually put his hand out to shake. The good hand, not the newly scarred hand.
He will reach out, he will extend out his left hand and meet it.
Your presence is always a pleasure here.
I will have to make a habit of learning how to better understand people I do not know, cultures I do not know. I forget that sometimes in my old age.
Well, for what it's worth, let me be the first to apologize for the scene.
If you want to know more about Tyrians, perhaps you should be asking Lundra more often. I'm sure she has plenty of stories she could teach you about my people.
Yes. I will have a little bit of time to do that around in the coming year. But I have been busy. He's going to nod to each of you. Before pausing. He's actually gonna pat himself down for a second. This is Jake. This is Jake coded language for he's searching for something in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have that? Expect a package to come through. Expect a customs package to arrive in the coming days.
Oh.
I seem to have left something important at home. Now, to go talk to. Ugh. You two, on me. As he is going to head out the door. His two royal guards in lockstep behind him. And with Eilberth's departure from the room and the scene, I believe this is a good place for us to leave tonight's session.
Woo!
No, I've got one more thing that I
of
need
course.
to say to Veron before we go.
Mhm.
Ishmael grabs Veron's shoulder before he has a chance to try and storm off, and leans in and says quietly, "Whether you like it or not, you're my goddamn family. Get fucking used to it." And then he's gonna walk away to probably start getting an earful from his mother.
Yeah.
Aww.
And that is the session, my friends.
Hooray!
Yay!
We did it, friends.
We've got a couple of things obviously to resolve in 2 weeks' time with Cheddar and Free, who never once introduced herself by name. It took the fucking king.
She did say, "I am as my name." Free.
True.